Hello and welcome to CryptoNovus, where newbies become masters. My name is Chris Brown and I'm the host of the channel. Today I'm going to do a 2021 price prediction on Ethereum Classic. Feel compelled to do so. I haven't done one of these in a long time. And Ethereum Classic has done a fantastic price increase and rise in the last couple of days here in May. So I felt compelled to go ahead and take a closer look at where this could possibly end up at the peak of the bull run. So, you may agree with me, you may not, but let's go ahead and take a look and see what numbers I come up with. Swan is one of those companies that I would highly recommend for anyone who's looking to try to invest into Bitcoin. Also, I'd like to, again, let people know that a new book is coming out in June of this year. It is called the CryptoNovus Cryptionary. It's a book that I have written. It's designed for the newbie coming into the market to understand the various acronyms, definitions, and a little bit of the history of how digital money came to be. So if you're new to the space, I think this will be an important book for you to pick up. I am offering a special pre-release of this book for the CryptoNovus community, and more details as to what that will be and how that will play out will come here in the near future. As always, this video should not be perceived as crypto investment advice. There's a lot to financial investing and advisory consulting. And so this video is for educational purposes. Crypto space is pretty complex. There's a lot of risks involved. And as always, we really push and support the idea that you do your own research so that you are fully equipped to make the wisest decision possible for you and your family. As I do these videos, I always like to list and quickly go over the 12 crypto price influencers. In the videos, I try to cover about 5 of them, which leaves another 7. So here's the list. Again, take a look at them and try to understand them and get as much education on these elements as possible as it pertains to each digital asset. Okay, let's look at ETC basics. Since 2016, Ethereum Classic has been listed on Coinbase in 2018. They've had several upgrades, and one of the positive things about Ethereum Classic is that on the technical side, they have really been diligent in trying to improve the platform. So they've had an Atlantis upgrade, a Garta, Phoenix. They've gone through 51% attack success, and last but not least, and we'll look at this a little bit more closely, they have a GrayScale trust fund, which has really helped this digital asset a lot in terms of value. So here's the network. The business case is simple. Ethereum Classic is a decentralized platform, just like Ethereum, and the applications run exactly as programmed without the possibility of censorship, downtime, or third-party interference. Ethereum Classic is a continuation of the unaltered original Ethereum chain, and this is due to a fork, and we'll kind of take a look at that in the next slide. So why Classic? Where does Ethereum Classic come from? Ethereum and Ethereum Classic are similar, but they diverged back in October 24th of 2016 due to a hack. Because of that hack, what the exploiters tried to do is they exploited the flaws within the smart contract code that was associated with DAO. So the foundation really basically the Ethereum Foundation pushed away from that, created a hard fork, and then rolled out a new chain, if you will, for Ethereum, which is what most people are interested in right now and has had a great run in terms of price increases above $3,000. But there were those that were still very much had the affection towards the original design and wanted to maintain it, but just simply wanted to improve the security. And so that's where Ethereum Classic comes from. The number of ETC tokens, one of the smart things that they did back in 2017 is they fixed the amount of ETC tokens. So there's 210.7 million tokens that are to be mined. They also have not so much a halving, if you will, but they have what they call an Ethereum Classic Improvement Proposal, which is an emission schedule, which is the release of tokens and the reduction of the block reward to miners. And you can kind of see the chart there, which kind of limits obviously the amount of tokens in the marketplace, and then kind of pushes out the final date for when the last token will in fact be mined. So let's take a look at some successes. I was really impressed when I went to the Ethereum Classic website and took a look at their roadmap. I already kind of listed some of the successes that they have had in terms of the improvement of the technology. Back in November 2020, Ethereum's Classic Thanos upgrade was released to the mainnet, which was like really their final big upgrade that I can see. And their goal for 2021 really is to acquire adoption and use. So I'm looking forward to seeing what kind of business partnerships they develop and what kind of projects get built on, Ethereum Classic. One of the big things that have really hit Ethereum Classic and has really, I think, solidified it as a valuable asset is when GrayScale actually created a trust fund for Ethereum Classic. As you'll see here in this fund, they've got $1.2 billion under management, assets under management for Ethereum Classic. It breaks down into just a little under 14 million shares. And they've had over almost 2,000% increase since the inception of the fund. So it's been very, very successful. A lot of these last few days, the last week, if you will, pricing action to the upside has been very much a positive for Ethereum Classic. Minimum investment in this fund is, as you can see, $25,000. So let's take a look at the price predictions. Kind of interesting. I did something a little different this time than normal. When I was putting this presentation together, Ethereum Classic was ranked at number 19 when I produced this slide. Since then, it has increased in price more from the $96 that it shows here, well into the mid hundreds, and so the ranking has changed. Before, it was kind of around the same value as Filecoin, Wrapped BTC, and Tron, but that's no longer the case. The price activity, again, when I did this, let's take a quick look at it. Around the 3rd of May, the price was only $47. When it got on the 5th of May, it had peaked to $149. It then quickly came back down, and when I was putting this together, it was around $105. Well, today, which is the 6th, it is in fact even shot up higher, and it's gone as high as, I think it was $174, and we'll take a look at that more in the price prediction. The other thing I want you to note is take a look at the volume indicators, trading volume indicators on the right-hand side of the screen. You can see that the bulk of the volume was at that $44 level, and there's not much resistance beyond 150, which kind of really explains why it peaked even more today. On today, Ethereum Classic is number 13. The circulation supply is only 55% of that 210.7 million tokens. It had a market cap today of $19.8 billion. The market dominance was at 0.77%. The price, when I actually did my calculations, was at $166. I checked it right before I did the video. It has dropped down back into the 140s. You can take a look at the BTC price valuation or comparison and the ETC. What's interesting about this is what this coin has done. In 2020, it was only $4.50. It peaked really quickly in the month of February to $12.50, but then came right back down to around the $5.50 range and stayed there for the most of 2020. At the beginning of 2021, it was only at $5.70, which at $174, that is a 30.5x growth just this year alone, and we're only sitting in the month of May. So what I did is I took a look at really 3 things. I took a look at what this Ethereum Classic could do relative to Ethereum, because that's important considering the fort. I took a look at this in relationship to Bitcoin, of course, which I'll always do. And then I took a look at what the price could be relative to market dominance and the overall crypto market cap. So in the first scenario, I said if Ethereum hits $13,913, and these numbers for Ethereum come from another video that I did on Ethereum, or if Bitcoin hit 146, assuming that these 2 things happen simultaneously, what would happen to ETC's price? If Ethereum did almost 14,000, I think ETC could be maybe $638 per unit. If Bitcoin hit 146,000, I think ETC might be only 410, right? And you can kind of see the growth increases there from those numbers. If the overall crypto market cap went to 3.3 trillion, Now, that's only one more trillion to go because it's right now sitting at 2.3. The ETC price might be $198. Well, that seems very probable right now because considering it got as high as 170. Now, looking more on the higher side, if Ethereum really spikes in this bull run and hits $27,000, a little over, the ETC price could be as much as $1,265, or it could do a 7.6x from where it presently is right now. If the BTC price gets as high as 276,000, which again, this feels almost conservative based on some other predictions for where that could be, ETC could be at $775. If the overall crypto market went to 7.7 trillion and the market dominance stayed at around the 0.7%, ETC could be another $463, or it could also 2.8x. So those are the number ranges, and we'll kind of summarize that. So I went from $198, which seems very, very probable to happen way before the peak, all the way to a little over $1,200. So actually $1,265. So between those two, you get an average price of $731. And if you take a look at the price of $166, what kind of an increase would that be? That would be a 4.4x. If you take a look and see, I'm going to do a quick calculation. If you take that 731 and divide it by, it's about 144 when that would be like a 5x from where it is. Still good growth for the overall year. I mean, if Ethereum Classic reaches as high as $731, if we divide that from where it was at when it started the market, when it started the year at $5.70, that would be a growth of 128x in terms of growth. To give you some idea of what that means, I mean, if you had a $10,000 investment in Ethereum Classic at the beginning of the year, if it reaches this number, that means your $10,000 investment could be over 1.2 million at the peak of the market. And so why do I go and I share all of that? I want to give you some thoughts. I had an opportunity to buy Ethereum Classic. I stuck obviously with Ethereum, and for probably all the right reasons. And I won't go into how much it was at the time. But the point is this: you can't underestimate the value of some of these altcoins. For an investor who said, hey, look, I'm not going to invest in Ethereum because it's too much. It's not where I want to be. I'm going to take my money and put it in Ethereum Classic and stay with the original, hedge my bets on that one. That was an incredible call because at this point, at the Ethereum Classic, just with real numbers, it peaked at 174. If you divide that by the 570 at the beginning of the year, like I said, that's 30.5x. Ethereum itself, it started at, I want to say, around 750 for the year, and I'll just use 3,500 as a number. So it's for just this year, it's only gone up 4.6. So Ethereum Classic has certainly outperformed Ethereum in terms of. So again, the point is you can't underestimate, and that again, it also reinforces the importance of doing your own homework, figuring out which one of these assets really works for you, and making a decision and being loyal to it and riding the wave out. Some of my final thoughts. Will the success of Ethereum Classic come in the wake of Ethereum? I don't know the answer to this, but it's one of the things that I am thinking of because as Ethereum, let's do an analogy. When Bitcoin rises, the altcoins tend to lag behind, but then they rise. I'm kind of wondering, after seeing how well Ethereum has done, last week, and then to see Ethereum Classic now this week do actually better in terms of growth, I wonder if that's going to be part of the dynamic of this particular coin. Because Ethereum the expectation for Ethereum is quite impressive when you start looking at the DeFi market and the derivatives market. It's something for you to consider as an investor. The other thought I have is as Ethereum Classic tries to use its platform and have projects be built on it and use their smart contract technology, how will it compete with the other ETH killers like Cardano and Polkadot? The business case, smart contract platform obviously is good and solid. They have a strong, dedicated community without a shadow of a doubt, but they do need additional business partners because I think use case and adoption is going to be the next wave, and the projects that really have good, strong business use cases and good adoption in the next bull run, I think are going to succeed well. So that is essentially it for today. Again, if you like the information, like the video, and by all means subscribe. We are past 2,500 mark for the number of subscribers for CryptoNovus. In fact, we're at 2,600 right now, or above 2,600, which I'm really happy about. And I welcome all of you, and I give you thanks for the support of the channel. It means that I'm putting some content together that's good. But we want those numbers to continue, so I am going to be doing some different things to bring different types of content to the channel, give some diversity to the channel, and also, like the book, bring some additional things of value to help you become educated and actually become better investors. Because ultimately what we're after here is the ability to increase wealth and our net worth. And so I'm going to be bringing some opportunities of how we can do that in the future. That's it for now. Again, thanks for watching. My name is Chris Brown, and this is CryptoNovus, where newbies become masters. You guys have a blessed day.